All right, I haven't talked about it, but let's talk about it. Sword Art Online, the story you never knew. Oh God, I'm gonna get sued. It's like I'm gonna get so sued. I mean, they're gonna freaking tree sickle my ass. It's like, do you think they have like icicle weapons and like made of trees? Technically a stake. Yeah, technically they'll basically treat me like a freaking vampire. And anyone who crosses them, they're gonna have freaking stakes and be like, oh, we're gonna sue your ass now. But anyways, let's just talk about Sword Art Online. So Sword Art Online, different from what they did, I'm just going to talk about the interesting thing about the whole entire series. So in the series, we first follow Kirito, and Kirito actually was in the first half, which I call it the first half. Technically, Sword Art Online is actually split into four actual things. First things first was the whole death game, which we dealt with the first Sword Art Online. And well, of course, if you guys already know already, is that a bunch of people, which is technically 10,167 or 47 people were in that game. And sadly, 4,000 lost their lives because they all got killed. But anyways, I think we don't really need to go into that detail, do we? If we do, I'll just make another video. But anyways, we follow Kirito all the way to the point of where he finally gets free. But of course, wow. That freaking whole entire adventure, man, that was, because it's basically real life. It's like you have only one life. As soon as you lose it, you're dead. And it's like, yeah, so he had a freaking rough ride. I mean, everyone most likely had a rough ride. From almost getting backstabbed and killed to almost actually dying. And do I have to admit, though, if you didn't see Sword Art Online, you need to see the first half of the first season. So the second season is where we get to the interesting part. Of course, I didn't even mention that Asuna, which, good idea to mention Asuna. Asuna is actually Kirito's love interest. So eventually we get saved. He gets saved. Everyone gets freed. But it turns out that a few of the people, I think 600. Yeah, so 600 of the 6,147 or 67, they actually are still trapped in the game. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, but one of them is basically definitely trapped, while the 599, we don't really know exactly what actually really happens to him, or at least I got fuzzy on that details. But the second half of the first season, we deal with Kirito actually having to save Asuna, and also the fact of he does have a little sister, and a little sister actually does get involved in what a crazy concept that is, including the fact of we get to see what's the difference between American culture and Japanese culture, or your culture versus Japanese culture. As of course, well, we do have a saying about kissing cousins, and well, some places is okay, and hey, I don't want to say anything. I personally don't. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to continue on. So basically, you have to save her. And again, wow, what the freaking hell, man. Like, what the freaking hell, man. So able to do it. But man, talk about the end of the first season was completely unbelievable. It's like you finished in virtual reality. Now you have to deal with reality. And holy freak, how that got freaking damn disgusting. It's like the person as a bad guy here is truly disgusting as hell, but holy frick, it's really messed the frick up. It's like, yeah, I got truly disgusted watching this. It's like, wow, man. Ooh. All right, then we get to season 2. So season 2, we actually dealt with two things. So first things first is this first half of season 2. And this is also the end of saying goodbye, Kirito. Sorry that you're not going to be in the next part of it. But the first part is the fact of he got actually hired. I'll say, yeah, he got hired, in quotations, hired by the same division that is looking after all of the internet stuff, or basically the video game stuff. And well, it turns out that this game that is kind of like Call of Duty or Battleground. Actually, not really. It's more like Halo. So basically, it's a shooter game that is exactly the same idea. But the craziest part is that there's a person who actually is killing the person in the video game, and in real life, he dies. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how that is going on there. It's like, wow. Of course, Do I really need to tell you what happens? Nah. I'm just going to say what happens here is sleight of hand. They kind of tried to make it seem like it's Sword Art Online all over again, but it's sleight of hand. That's what's really going on. And it's really interesting how it goes. And personally, I wish that the girl that we met in this version, in this series, this season, this first half of the season, I really wish she actually returned. Yeah, that's the messed up part. It's like, I really wish that she returns, or at least we get to see her in real life. Oh, yeah, we do. Sorry, we do. It's just that she doesn't return after this, which is bullshit. And it's kind of messed up that we don't get to see the fairy girls or the fairy chairmen or fairy leaders. Yeah, we don't get to see them in real life either. I kind of would like to see them too, but frig it. So yeah, the case got solved. It's kind of funny that Kirito actually decides to look like a woman. It's kind of funny how that goes. Yeah. And then of course we get to the second half of season 2. Second half of season 2, goodbye Kirito. Apparently we don't need you. We're going to actually take and look at Asuna. And personally, from how it actually started, I thought, oh my gosh, Yui gets to have a human form. Oh my gosh, she actually gets to go in the real world. Nope. No, it turns out that no, Asuna is dealing with some issues. We rarely actually get to see Kirito in this. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, yeah, hostile takeover much? So we don't really get to see him even guest star in his own anime, which I guess technically is his, but still is like he's the main antagonist until this point. But what happens here is that Asuna actually does some video gaming on her own. We also get to see some issues at her house. So it's like we get to see her perspective of stuff, how her mom sucks. And then we get to actually get to see her get bumped into a girl who turns out in reality is actually dying. She doesn't get to go outside and have a real life. Instead, she has to be in a cubicle, kind of like a freaking bubble boy, or technically bubble girl. And the only way how she actually can get out and enjoy herself is by putting on a nerve gear and, of course, going into a LO, which technically is the fairy one. Yeah, that's the one that we got introduced in season 1, second half. So, yeah. And basically, that's the weirdest part. It's like, I guess they didn't want to do another one, but we end with her dying. Yeah, we end with the girl dying, and that's the last episode we get, is her dying, and the guys are like, oh man, let's honor her. Rest in peace. It's like, what? That's what we get? We get that? That's how we end this whole entire anime? Are you fucking kidding me? But yep, that's how it ends, and it's like, wow. So you're telling me that Kirito is like, yeah, I like Kirito. I really like him, and he gets to have all the good endings. But apparently for Asuna, she gets to have her first night out, and her ending is completely what the fuck. It's like, yeah, I get it. I understand that. You can't really cure her. But still, I'm just saying, I would rather the whole series have a brand new season 3, than actually have this where it's like, oh, the series ended by just having a girl die. That is the last freaking episode. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that totally sucks. So anyways, I guess we're just going to end it by talking about what happened in 2013 and what's going on with the dub. So the dub stopped in season 1. It did season 1, part 1, and part 2. That's good for you. But you didn't bring season 2 up in this piece? What the fuck? So in 2013, they actually did have a movie. A movie came out, and this movie, I just watched a few minutes ago. This actually gives us a good overview of what happened in the whole entire first season. Which I think, since you guys are being bastards and slow as hell, you might as well dub the freaking movie first before actually starting season 2. It makes so much sense. But anyways, the coolest part I have to admit is that it wasn't just an overview. They decided to throw 2 things into this. Number 1, anime girls in bikinis. Me personally, I didn't really give a crap about that. I'm like, oh, well, sure, but I really want to see what happens, because it seems like this might actually be a refresher. And that's what it was. It was a refresher, but they added some bikini guys, and also they added a brand new mission that they did, which is pretty nice. And of course, like I said, this one actually is a refresher for season 1, means that this happened between season 1 and season 2. So yeah, there's no gunner, there's no gunner girl, there's no real anything. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, thank you for watching. And if you got any questions about Sword Art Online, you can comment down below, because I watched all of everything. And let me just tell you that the English dub is crap. English dub is crap. The people they choose for the voices are kind of crap. And I'm not going to give them a chance. Sadly, for Dragon Ball Super, their dub is slowly getting to the point of where I'm like, oh, okay, I can accept Beerus's voice sounding like that. I can take it.